Hey, so in this video, I'll go over how to save your code to Git or using Git to GitHub. And yeah, so I guess just a simple example. Um, let's say we want to go back to the first video where we just had the home page. We can't really do that from here. Like we can't revert the changes easily. Yeah, of course you can do it with like all the AI IDEs. They have the um, revert button, but once you like clear the or clear the conversation or close the app or anything, you can't revert anything after that. So yeah, so Git is also a good way to collaborate with other developers, and yeah, it's just a good way to manage your code, even if you're working by yourself. So yeah, and so once I push this code, everyone will be able to use it. So yeah, first let's go to GitHub. Yeah, you'll just go to github.com or whatever repository service you want. So there's also GitLab and Bitbucket, and yeah, there's probably more, but those are the ones that come to mind. But yeah, so if you're on github.com, they have this new button here, but on every page there will be a plus button here, and you'll click new repository. Yeah, and so you can give it a name. So tattoo artist Flutter, and then you can also give a description. And if you don't want anyone to have access to it, um, you can invite people, but if you want to keep it private, basically, of course, private. But I'm going to share this with everyone. And then, yeah, they also have these options. But yeah, if you're new to get, I'm not sure I would use these yet. I would add them later because, yeah, you would have to merge the code if you have existing code. Maybe if it's you haven't created the code, the boilerplate yet, then this is fine to choose these other options if you're new. But yeah, so we'll just click create repository. And they give us this these example commands, and this is if you create a new repository on the command line. So they even give you the code to create the README and other things. But yeah, but we already have an existing repository. But this won't push our existing code, I believe. We still have to commit it. So commit basically, oh, you can see it here. So basically we have to follow these steps. So git add just means what files do you want to add. You can either add single files. So in this example, they're adding just the README markdown file. And git commit actually saves that code for that. Yeah, to a certain point. But it still won't go to GitHub or whatever Git service you use until you push it. So here, and yeah, so this is a one-time thing. You only have to run Git remote once, but after that, basically the steps are Git add, and then Git commit, and then Git push. But it's also built into a lot of the IDEs, and there's also GitHub Desktop, which I'll go over that in a minute. But yeah, it's another easy way just to use Git without having to run terminal commands. Yeah, so I do use it a little bit, but like for the initial stages or the initial push, I do run the terminal commands. And yeah, so I'll go ahead and copy this, but now we need to set up Git. And if you have Linux or Mac, you can use Homebrew. There's other options, but I'll also show you how to set up Windows. But yeah. So first, um, you'll click this, you'll open up the terminal, and then you'll just paste it here and run. I already have it, so I won't do that, but it takes a little bit to run. Set up Git. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we had to do that first, but then we can install Git with so if we have Macs we can use yeah, if we have a Mac we can use brew install Git. So we just installed Homebrew. Well, if you yeah, that's the example I just went over. You install Homebrew first and then run this, or you can install Mac ports. Also, if you already have Xcode, have a binary packager Git. They also have an installer with Git. It was released 3 years ago. But yeah, I always use Homebrew. But yeah, anyways, because I would always use Mac. But Windows, they have an installer here, and then Linux. You can depends on which version of Linux you're using, but you can also use Brew. Yeah, yeah. So it's real simple. After you, the next two steps are just setting up your username and email address, and they're similar commands. So you run this in the terminal or both of these. So copy this, and you'll just change this. It could be any. I don't want to say anything, but it doesn't have to be the username in Git, I believe, or GitHub. But I always use the username in GitHub or whatever service you're using. And yep, so yeah, you just copy that in the terminal, run that, and the same for the email. They have different steps for Mac, Windows, and Linux. Uh, okay, they give you a way to set it on GitHub, and then also on Git. I thought you already had to do this anyways. I don't know. But yeah, anyways. So yeah, it's pretty much the same. Just of course it's different. You're setting the email instead. And I would use your actual email. Yeah. And then they also have ways to authenticate with Git. So yeah, GitHub Desktop makes these steps easier. I'm not sure if they help you set up your username and email address, but I think they do. Um, but yeah, we'll go back to the code. And so the first thing I'll do is just I'll add everything. So git add and then dot, which is the current directory. And then you can do it in one, I guess, line. So you can also do commit and basically means if the first command was successful, then run this command. So yeah, but yeah, I'll just do it in one line, or I'll do separate lines just to make it not confusing. Or get init actually is the first step. Um, yeah, because we don't have a repository yet. So get init, uh, we'll create our empty repository, and we can do git add. Yeah, sometimes when you create the boilerplate, it will create the initial repository, but yeah, we haven't. And also, there's a git ignore. This is an this is important because basically it tells any files you don't want to push to the repository or to the yeah basically the repository you'll put here. So of course, like common these are just common class files for Flutter, but yeah, also any secrets you may have in your code. Yeah, so but yeah, we'll do git commit next, and you can do all this from command source control. So you can do it here too. They already have commit here. You'll just type and click commit. Yeah, I'm just showing here. Just this is how I do it usually. So initial commit. That's usually like the. Oh, isn't that already here? Oh, maybe not. Okay. And so initial commit. So that saves it, but it still hasn't pushed the code up to our repository yet. So that's what these. So we need to do this to tell it which repository to use, or it can be. I'll go ahead and set this. And then yeah, I'll just go ahead and push these. So get branch just tells it what branch we want to use, and then get push tells it where to push the branch basically. So you're pushing to the main branch. So if you do get branch, we'll see. Main is the only branch we have. But also if we go back to here and then we refresh it, you'll see we have the code here. And yeah, this is the initial um, README that the Flutter generator created. But yeah, usually it's more, I thought. But yeah, anyways. But yeah, you'll put on the README, you'll put whatever useful info for yourself and any other um, people that may work on the project. But yeah, to set it up, it depends on what install this, then you can run the steps to. I did it kind of backwards. But yeah, you can run these steps, or you can even use. So every IDE I'm using in this like series, they're all based on VS Code, so it will all look the same. They always have. You can even pin it here, but I'm not sure if it shows all of them if you pin it. It at least puts it like higher up. But yeah, I never really use it. I either use the GitHub Desktop or I just do it in the terminal. I don't use VS Code all the time too. I guess that's why. But yeah, you'll also see my commit here. And then yeah, so it shows the I mean this is the first commit, but once we it looks similar to the composer, the changes. So yeah, it's a diff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What else did I want to cover? I have other things here. Yeah, DeepSeek. Okay, yeah, I'll go over this later. But yeah, I did plan to use DeepSeek next, but then I was thinking I haven't even went over Cursor. So I want to go over Cursor first. But I'll put the link to all of this first, and I'll list the steps in the direct or description. Yeah. So next, I plan on after this, we'll use Cursor first, and then we'll go with root code or line and DeepSeek. But yeah, oh, and yeah, I would highly recommend this. It's nice as well, but it's built in too. So however you choose to handle Git. And yeah, this code, I'll share the link to this as well. And yep, so that's it. See y'all later.